There's been a lot happening in the world of air travel in the last several months, and today, or yesterday rather, seems to be no different. As you can see, we have this article here that I stumbled on that I thought was kind of interesting. More like insane and terrifying, but here we have it. A Marine slammed and zip-tied a passenger to his seat after he claims a man attempted to open plane door mid-flight. A US Marine of 20 years pinned a man down on an all-Nippon, is it Nippon or Nippon? Nippon. Okay. A US Marine of 20 years pinned a man down on an all-Nippon Airways flight from Tokyo to Houston when he claims a man tried to open the emergency exit door. Sergeant Major Jody Armentrout said he was handed zip ties by flight attendants to secure the passenger and sat beside him until the plane landed in Seattle. Also, I have to note how epic the name Armentrout is. Armentrout, dude, that's some backcountry ass shit right there. Dude's got iron fish genes, you know what I'm saying? He's like a stonefish from Stardew Valley, you know. That was not the only hiccup of Flight 114's route, as another passenger punched the lavatory door. I don't know what a lavatory door is, but your guess is as good as mine. Well, hey, you know, I'm not an expert or anything, you know what I'm saying? While the plane was on the tarmac in Seattle. That's pretty wild, all that happens on one flight. That's fucking terrifying. A US Marine acted quickly after noticing a man grab the emergency exit door. Sergeant Major Jody Armentrout, who has served in the Marines for 20 years, was on a flight from Tokyo to Houston on May 24th when he noticed a man acting suspicious. The fellow passenger took his backpack into one of the lavatories before he walked out, went into a second lavatory, and then a third. What the fuck is a lavatory, dude?
Toilet.
Quote, he came out of that one and began pacing up and down the aisle. So that just threw my radar on. Armentrout, who is stationed in Japan, told NBC News in a phone interview about his all-Nippon Airways flight from Tokyo to Houston. Keeping a steady eye on the suspicious passenger, Armentrout, 50 years old, said he saw the man eyeing the emergency exit door adjacent to him. That's when the Marine intervened by standing up and blocking the man's way to the door. Big balls, dude. Big balls. Big ball. Big old balls. Armentrout said he saw the passenger turn around and run straight through the galley to another emergency exit door. That's when Armentrout's instincts and training kicked in. He grabbed a strap around the door, pulled it off, and about that time is when I took him and slammed him, put him on the ground, Armentrout told NBC News. And then there was an older gentleman sitting on that side that woke up and he got up and kind of helped me. Is this the lavatory? Fuck it, dude, I don't know. Flight attendants handed Armentrout zip ties to keep the man secured to the seat while the plane took a detour to Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. In the meantime, Armentrout sat next to the man for the duration of the flight. Quote, his eyes, you could definitely tell there was something going on, Armentrout said of the passenger acting suspiciously. Seems like there's a lot of weird, suspicious stuff that happens on these flights. It's like there's some like possession kind of thing going on with these flights. Like people...
And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Saying someone was not real.
Remember that lady who saw like the reptilian dude whose eyelids
That is not real.
closed like that? I don't know. If I can find it, I'll put it on the screen.
Opening up about her freak out on the plane.
It was the worst moment of my entire life.
Man, I hope she's kidding. Remember that shit? I've also almost had a couple freakouts on planes, but that's just because I'm f***ing terrified of flying and I don't trust nobody. So they say flying's safer statistically than driving, and I know that's bullshit because I'm not flying the plane, but I'm driving the car and I trust myself. I'm a good driver. What can I say? I don't got boobs and tits. And I'm not Chinese. Let's continue. All Nippon Airways released a statement regarding Flight 114 saying a passenger became unruly during the flight with service from Haneda Airport to Houston's George Bush International Intercontinental Airport. The man was escorted off the plane where he was brought in for questioning and later identified according to a Port of Seattle police report obtained by People. The FBI informed the officer on call that they were not going to place the man into custody. Instead, he was transported to a local hospital where he received further medical evaluation, the report states. Quote, prosecutors are reviewing reports and witness statements to determine whether the case is appropriate for federal prosecution. Spokesperson for the FBI Seattle field office told People. I certainly fucking hope so. That should be fucking with planes. I think the feds should do something useful for once instead of going after Trump supporters. But you know what I'm saying? What a fucking stud. What a stud. This dude, props. That was not the only hiccup for the all Nippon. This is like, so, dude, they regurgitate so much in these articles. It's ridiculous. That was not the only hiccup for the all Nippon Airways Flight 114 that departed Saturday morning. As the flight sat on the tarmac in Seattle, another passenger who was, quote, frustrated at the flight diversion punched a lavatory door, the FBI Seattle field office reported. A lot of lunatics on this flight. They said they're coming from Japan to Houston. I got a homie who's stationed in Japan right now, so like no shade, but like, dude, the people coming out of Japan seem to be a little bonkers, but I digress. It's the lingering chemtrails of kamikaze imperialism. The flight passenger was removed from the flight and has not been identified. Yeah, he has. They just don't want to tell. They don't want to say. Which I understand. But how the fuck is he arrested and detained? He was removed from the flight. What? It's just whatever, dude. Beating around the bush like they're George W.'s landscaper.
How do I begin to explain to you that I can see you down there doing all that work? Inquire you to tell me, do the carpets match the drapes? Couple shoeies and make her go shooey. Now that bitch gone, she is straight.
The FBI reported that neither flight passenger received charges as of Tuesday. So this happened a couple days ago. Oops. Flight 114 eventually made it to Houston on Saturday at 12:42 p.m. CDT, according to FlightAware.com. Armentrout admitted, quote, "It was a weird flight." Yeah. It sounds like there's a lot of weird flights going on lately. I'm staying right here on the ground for the rest of my life. Unless they let me bring my anal beads on the flight, because I use them as a self-defense weapon. It's like a nunchuck, you know what I'm saying? On Friday, May 30th, Armentrout will make the trip back to his base in Japan, which he told the news station has him feeling a little anxious after their last flight. With that, he issued a strong advisory to travelers. Quote, "I want to make sure everybody understands what time we are in this world nowadays, and that they need to be aware of their surroundings all the time," he said. Yeah, no shit, I agree with him. Always be aware of your surroundings. Always be ready to go. Know how to defend yourself. Know how to defend other people. Know what to look for with sketchy behavior. If people eyeing you up too much and they're staring at you, keep your wits about you, unless you're in India, in which case you should just ignore them and tell them you don't have any money. I'd like to buy do you have some change, sir? So yeah, that's the article. I just wanted to share that with you. Maybe I'll find a couple relevant things and splice them in there, but I'm just trying to practice doing this shit. So I'm just picking random articles. If I do another one today, you will see it. I will see you there. Peace out.
He said, but if anything happens to me, it's not suicide.
If it's not DEI, it's probably something to do with this.